Welcome to my mathematics class. With me here, I've come with this question that you are able to see on the board, and this is trigonometry. Okay, so I want to see how trigonometry is being handled. So we can start. The diagram shows a triangle PQR. So we are saying PQR, in which PR we are given. Then QR also is there, and angle PRQ is this one we are given. Okay. Then the question says calculate PQ. So we are going to calculate PQ. So as you may be aware, this is not a right angle triangle. And therefore, for you to calculate this angle, you are supposed to use either cosine rule or sine rule. Okay. Unless if it was a right angle triangle, that's where you can use SOHCAHTOA. Okay, the trigonometric ratios. Now for this one, you have to use one of those rules that I've mentioned. Now, it is your duty as a candidate to identify the rule that is suitable to a given question. So like this question that we have, which rule can we use? Okay, how are you going to know that? Here I'm supposed to use cosine rule. Here I'm supposed to use the sine rule. How can you know that? So how you can know, like the way this triangle is given, we are going to identify, is the angle given included or non-included angle? So when you look at this, we have this angle here, then this side, two sides that are making up the same angle are both given. So if they are given, it means that is included angle. So if you have an included angle to a given triangle, the rule that you are supposed to use there is the cosine rule. Okay. Then if you have non-included angle, what do I mean when I say non-included angle? Let me show you practically so that you understand both. So non-included angle is a situation where now the two sides that are making up the triangle, the angle, only one is given. For example, this one is given, then this one not given. Then here we have this side which is given. So that one now we are going to consider this angle as the non-included angle. And the rule that we can be applicable on that one is sine rule. So let us now concentrate on the one that we have. So we can start, okay? Sine rule. So the first thing that you're supposed to do is just to introduce the formula there. The good part is this is paper 2 type of question. And you are going to find the formulas there on the cover page, okay? But you being a learner, you have to master all the formulas. That is your duty. So let's start. Solution, okay? Solution. Here we are saying calculate PQ. PQ, that is the one we are calculating. So PQ in this case, the angle there, so the way we name sides and angles, the capital letter always represent the angle, then the small letter represent the side. So here we have big R there, which is the capital letter, and it is representing this angle. Now, the side which is opposite to this is this side. So this side is going to be named as the small r, okay, in this case, before we even come to PQ. So this PQ is the small letter r. So in the formula now, we are using the same letters that we have here. So now, before I introduce those letters, let me first use the simplest letters. I mean the letters that are starting in the alphabetical order, which is A, B, C. So let me start with that. So I would say the formula now would be A squared is equals to B plus C, then minus, this is square minus 2BC, then cos A. Now this time you have to put the capital letter there. Okay, so this is the formula. This is the cosine rule. This is the rule we are talking about. The one that you are supposed to use. Okay, so A squared is equals to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A. Okay, now let us interpolate now this same formula using the letters that we are given on the triangle. Okay, so here now we are going to say, just like I was saying, this is R, so small letter R, that will be our A. Okay, that is side. So where there is A, we are going to put it, then equals, then B, this time B, let's talk about this side. Okay, I mean this P. So P is going to represent P. Okay, P is going to, so you can pick, if you want, you can start with Q. Q represents B. It's just one and the same. Okay, so now let's start with P. So P is representing B. So you say P, the small letter P, then plus, okay, then Q. Q is going to represent now this side. We are talking about this side. So when you say Q, the side in small letter Q is this one. So plus Q, then squared, minus 2. We know we have this 2, P, Q, then cos C. What do we have here? R. So there you have to put the capital letter R. That is the formula. In fact, I was just explaining on the formula, but the fact is they usually do what? They give this formula, okay? But this is how you can change now the letters, because mostly there on the cover page, the formula which they usually put is this one, okay? Now, in case now on the diagram you don't have A, like this one, on the triangle, we don't have A. So how are you going to place those letters now? This is the way to go, okay? So now, after you have introduced the formula, we are now going to do what? To find, and in this case, PQ is just R, okay? PQ is R, okay? That is PQ. R, the opposite, just like I explained in my preamble, okay? So now from there, we can come this side, we start substituting. Do we have R? No, we don't have this side. This is the one we are looking. So you say R squared, then equals, what about P? Do we have P? Where is P? P is E. So P, the opposite side is this one. So P is what? 12.5. I mean, not this time when you are calculating, let us not put the units. Units will come later. So there we say square, because there is a what? A square. Then we say plus, then Q. Do we have Q? Are we given Q? Q is here. Q, yes, we are given is 8 point what? 8.9 again square, because here there is a square. Then you say minus, okay? Then you are going to put 2. Then you know P is what? P is 12.5, 12.5. Then you close. You are multiplying here. Open bracket. Then again, what is Q? Q in this case is 8.9. Okay. Then you say cos what? We are multiplying cos. Are we given cos R? Yes, it's there. So we put cos R, which is 108.6 degree. Okay. So you have seen the way we have substituted. Then from there now, we can simplify this. Remember, this is paper 2 type of question. Therefore, you are allowed to use the calculators. Okay. So here quickly we can use the calculator. We punch fast. Okay, so we are using calculator. It's the one that I'm getting here, because this is calculator version. So now you can say, you write R there squared equals, then 12.5 squared. What is the answer? Here we are going to have 156.25, then plus. Then here 8.9 squared. We are using a calculator here. 79.221. Okay. Then we multiply the rest. So what we are going to do here is, since we are just multiplying, so we can multiply everything here to get the answer. So since this 2 is a negative, there's a minus there. So you start with minus. So minus 2, then times 12.5, then times 8.9, then times cos 100 cos 100 cos 130.6. So you have to be accurate enough. So the answer that we are getting is positive 144. So here now it will be plus. So when you multiply this, negative 2 times 12.5 times 8.9 times cos 130.6, the answer will be now positive. So positive, since there is no negative here, so you say positive 144.7972633. Okay, so that is the answer. Then from there now, we can continue. We are still answering. Okay, this R is representing PQ according to the question. So now from there, we can add everything there now. Let's add. So we are going to say 156.25, then plus 79.21, then plus 144.797972 633. 633. Okay. So the answer after that, you are going to have 380.2572, then 633. Okay. So remember, here we are looking for R, not R squared. So what do? We are going to introduce both sides. We introduce the what? The square root. Okay. So 380.257, then 263. So this one and this one will go. Then you are going to remain with R is equals to, what is the square root of this value that we have? So the square root of answer, we are going to have 19.5. Okay, 19.500. So just round it off. Then we are in what? Centimeters. So we say 19.5 centimeters. Therefore, PQ is equals to, because this R is representing PQ, is equals to 19.5 centimeters. Okay, so that is how we go about that one. So that one is 5 marks. That one alone, 5 marks. Just like what we've done. Simple as that. So quickly, we can go to the next question. The next question, they are saying now, the area of triangle PQR. Area of triangle PQR. So I want to find area, that is 2 now. Area is equals to 1/2. Then you say those sides that we are given, we are using P, then PQ, okay, PQ, then sin R. So that is the formula according to the diagram that we are given. Remember, even this formula is given on the cover page. Okay. So now here, what now we are going to do, what you are going to do now here is that we are now going to substitute according to the value that we have. So area 1/2 times, what is P? P is 12.5, then times Q is 8.9, then times sin R, we are given is 130.6 degree. So whatever we are going to get here now, that will be our area. So we can multiply it at once because we are using a calculator. So 0.5 times 12.5 times 8.9, then times sin 130.6. What is the answer? So the answer that you are getting here is 42.2 3, 4, 4, 6, 6, then 4, 7. Okay, so that is our area. Now, remember, instruction is always given there where they will say leave, as long as the figure that you have found is not in degrees, you have to leave that one in 3 significant figures. So here, for us to leave this one in 3 significant figures, it will be 42 point. We just consider this 2. The next number is nothing, there is 3. So we can't get anything. So it will be just 2 centimeters square. Remember, area is measured in a square. Okay, so that is question number 2. Then we go to question 3, which is the shortest distance from R to PQ. Shortest distance from R to PQ. So this one we can answer from this part. So 3, shortest distance is equals to 2 area over length. Okay, so that is the formula. So now for this formula, they don't give it on the cover page. You won't find it. So you just have to know it. Okay. So you can either use the other one for height or this one, just one and the same. So 2a over L. That is the formula for shortest distance. So now let's start. This A is representing area, the one that you have found. Then L is representing the longest side, like the way they have said, the shortest distance from R then to PQ. So this PQ, distance PQ, is representing L. So PQ in this case is this one, which we have found. So we are going to apply it there. Okay. So you start. You say 2, then times area is what? 42.2. Then over length is what? 19.5. That is PQ. Okay. Then from there, you say, you multiply now. Use the calculator. This is calculator version. So 2 times 42.2. Okay. The answer there, we are going to have 84.4 over 19.5. So this same one now, divide by 19.5. What is the answer? So the answer is going to be 4.32820, then 51. Okay, so now here we have to follow the same instruction. Remember, in an examination, very important to follow instructions. So we need to leave that number into 3 significant figures. So here we are going to say 4 point, then 3 there, then 2, we have 8 there. We need to get 1, we round it off, it will be 3. So 3, 3. Okay, so 3 what? Centimeters. So the shortest distance therefore is 4.33 centimeters. That is our shortest distance. Okay, so we are done with the shortest distance. So now quickly we can come to the question number what? That is question B now. Okay, where we are supposed to solve the equation. So solve the equation. Which side, which part now? Okay, this one, which is B, we can start it from here, then it will end somewhere there. So B, solution. So we are saying B, solve the equation. We have 2 sine x, then equals 1. Okay. So now here, there's something important you must understand as a learner. First of all, you need to consider the range that you are given. So the range is 90 to 270. So remember, when we say 90, that is the second quadrant. Okay. So we are talking about second quadrant up to third quadrant, because 270 is the third quadrant. Okay. So now we are going to consider that. So meaning the value of x should lie between 90 to 270 in terms of quadrants. So we can start from there now. Okay, so now, as I was saying, we are going to, I think let's use the other part here. Okay, so for this one, we are going to write this one. This is the equation, which is B. So we are saying 2 sine x then equals 1. Where the range we are given, 90 up to 270. Okay, 90 up to 270. So we are saying from the second quadrant up to third quadrant. Okay. So when you are talking about quadrant, for this one, you need to understand. So we have first quadrant is A. We say first quadrant, A, second, then third, then fourth. Okay. What does that mean? So this A you are seeing in the first quadrant, all trigonometric ratios are what? Positive. That's what it means. Oh. So here it is like this. Now instead we just write the initial. Then in second quadrant, which is this one, it's only sign which is positive. Then third quadrant, tan is positive, the rest they are negative. Here only cos, fourth quadrant is positive, the rest they are negative. That's what it means. So now the range that we are given, remember, that is 90 up to 270. 270 is ending here because this is 180, 90, 180, 270. Okay. So 90 now we are saying somewhere here because this is 90. So going this side, just the second and the third quadrant. That is the range we are given. Okay, second and third quadrant. So now, after you have understood about the quadrant, we can now start solving the what? The equation. So how do you solve the equation? In trig, you should have a calculator there. So you say, since you are solving for x, and this side you are supposed to make sure that you just remain with it. Sine x, so you say over 2 here both sides for you to remain with x. Okay, so to remain with sine x, so sine x is equals to 1 over 2. It has changed now. Okay, because this one has divided itself, and hence we remained with what? Sine x. Then from there now, for us to find x, we are going to shift the calculator. So we say x is equals to sine inverse, then 1 over 2. So sine inverse, for you to have that, it means you have placed the second function on the calculator, okay, which is a shift. So in this case, you are going to press sine. Since we are dealing with sine, once you place sine there, then you say shift. First of all, before pressing sine, you have to shift the calculator, then you place sine. So that one as shown, sine power negative 1, which is sine inverse. Then from there now we write 1 over 2, which is 0.5. That's one and the same. So when you place there now, what do you have? So you are going to have x is equals to 30 degree. So x has given us 30 degree. Now one thing that you must understand is this degree you have found is just the reference angle. Okay, the one that is found in the first quadrant. Now remember, according now here you need to consider now the range that you are given. So according to the range, it's 90 up to 270. So it is second quadrant and third quadrant. That is where you are going to get your answer from, not first quadrant. This 30 is falling in this quadrant. Okay. So now we are going to use this one as a reference to find now where, and as you can see, this is a positive. So you need to consider where sign is positive, and that is where you are going to get your answer from. So looking at the quadrant, the Arctic circle there, where is positive, sign is positive, is the second quadrant. So second quadrant, what is the formula for second quadrant? So the formula for second quadrant is 180 minus the reference angle, which is actually, in this case, represented by alpha. Okay, so the reference angle, the one that you have found, so now we are going to say 180 minus alpha is what? 30. So therefore 180 minus 30, you are going to have 120, 150. Okay, 150 degree. So your answer is 150 degree. X is equals to 150. Okay. This one we are going to disregard it. It's not part of the solution. Why? because it is found in first quadrant, and the range that we are given is to start from second quadrant up to third quadrant. Now, we cannot get solution from third quadrant here. The reason is that here sign is negative, and the reference angle that we have found is positive. So we just have to concentrate where sign is positive, which is second quadrant. And this is what we have done. Thank you so very much for understanding. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Pentagon Learning, and also to follow me on my Facebook page, Mr. A+. Thank you so very much for your patience and resilience.